So how do you feel after watching the season finale of Loki, realizing that your theory was incorrect? Where you talked about it for a solid 25 minutes.
Well,
It's,
well, my friend, I will say that I was wrong about Loki, but I
and
was
you're
right.
glad you were wrong.
But I was right about Kang.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're
and
right about Kang. Yeah.
I think correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll go back and watch it myself anyway. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did I not? I'm pretty sure I said I might be wrong about this, and it might still be Kang. But I think this is what's going to happen. I have a strong
Well,
feeling about
you
this.
just covering your ass, man. It's fine. You
Yeah,
know, you set
but
up a little net for
they're
yourself.
both my theories, so whatever.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
I came up with them before everybody else did. Because there were a lot of people that did, and I just want to put it on record that I came up with them first.
Yeah, no, you did, man. I will say it was a well thought out theory. It just happened to be wrong, but I mean that's fine. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But my Kang theory was correct, and my Kang theory was correct. My Kang theory was more than correct because not only did we get him for a second, we got him for an entire fucking episode, which was like what? Like I had no idea was coming. Like I didn't know like they were gonna. I thought he was gonna fight somebody else, and then it would lead to Kang. But I did not know we were going to get a full episode of witnessing Jonathan Majors do his fucking thing because he really did. Man, I want to know, like, because you're the thespian between the two of us.
I was already going to talk about it.
Yeah, I want to know what you thought because I thought he tore the fucking roof off. Like when you can steal the show from someone like Tom Hiddleston, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, dude. The thing about Jonathan Majors that I was really impressed by is that you can look at a script and memorize the lines, but actually making them sound like you were the one saying, like the rhythm that he put into the dialogue was so unique. No one else could have played it like that. He put like pauses in and he broke up sentences. He made it sound like he was actually thinking on the spot. I mean, and you forget that like a good actor, you forget that he's playing some, but I mean, it was just like, dude, he tore it up. Like the rhythm of speech that he put into that character, that like, dude, that's like when Christopher Walken takes a script, right? He takes all the punctuation out of it. He's admitted that. That's why his rhythm is so like, whoa, all over the place. And you know, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. And there's periods there's run on sentences. It's like, no one else would say those lines like Walken. That's why he's so unique. And that's why people impersonate him. This guy did the same thing. Like no one would be able to pick up the script and do it that way except him.
Right.
It was awesome.
Like so one of the things that jumped out to me, and I don't know if you picked this up because I've talked to a lot of people about this performance, and nobody has mentioned this. And when I mention it, nobody like goes, "Oh yeah, I saw that," and like. So they just go, oh yeah, and we just move on, and I'm just like, how the fuck is nobody like talking about this? Anyway, so Kang or this.
Can you give me a hint?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. He's the he who remains, right? So he's like, and he's one of like, I don't know how many variants of Kang, and they all know each other, right? They all spent time together, like lots of fucking time together, like playing with time, like that was their thing. Until they started having a disagreement, they fucking had a fight, and then there was the giant war between all of the different like timelines. And he apparently was able to win and contain everything, and his job was to protect the sacred timeline so it doesn't break apart, and then it happens all again, right? So this is a guy that spent all that time with all those different Kangs. Did you pick up on the fact that he had several different dialects? Like he spoke, like he had like a British accent at one point. He had like he had so many different like accents and dialects that were broken apart and like fucking piecemealed together in a string.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, dude? I thought I missed something because there was the beginning where he's like eating the apple, which I thought was just kind of cool. I'm like, all right, he's just like chilling eating this apple, whatever.
Yeah, and the apple was like you would take a bite of it and like there would be a bite missing and then it would be a whole apple again. Did you notice that? That
I
shit was
thought,
fucking
yeah, that
crazy.
was cool. Yeah, like the endless apple.
Yeah.
I thought because I was, when he started off, I was like, oh, he just kind of sounds like a normal person, and then I was watching it and I heard like some British accent come out, and I was like, oh well, he's probably British, and like it slipped out. Like that's what I thought. I didn't think, but then I'm like, but then I'm thinking. I remember like while it happened, this is literally a thought. I was like, oh, some British slipped out, and then I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, he's probably British, and I was like, why didn't the dialect coach like catch that? Why didn't they do
Right.
that scene again? And now I'm like, oh, well, it's fucking on purpose. That's why.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was pretty fucking cool. Like, cause like, and he said like, so he used all of the different dialects when he was going through the names too. It's like, they call me many different things. They call me this, they call me that, and then when he said the conqueror, like he said it like in this like British voice, and it was just like, yo, like he's just like, it's almost like, I don't know if he picked up all of these different things, and it's just like that's how they all talk now, because they all just kind of like mixed up their way of saying things, or if he's actually just a combination of all of them, like kind of like in one body, and like when they killed him, like it released them all, right? Like I don't know, I that's a very I that last idea is a reach, I know that, but like,
yeah, I don't know if it's that. I think but he also said like I've lived millions of lifetimes.
right.
So I think that it's just like the culmination of all these lifetimes coming together, I don't know, dude. Even though they got to that point where he didn't know what was going to happen, it was like, oh, we've hit the threshold. I'm like, okay. But why? I don't understand why he decided to let Sylvie kill him so easily.
He was
like
done.
He's just like, yeah, but that's bullshit. Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, you've lived millions of lifetimes, and you're literally just gonna let this bitch take you out with a fucking like. No, I would have expected. He wanted to die, I guess, but why?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He wanted to either, if he wasn't going to have somebody like take over, right, so that he can go and like just, live happily. He didn't want to sit there and like guard the timeline anymore. He was like I'm fucking done with this. Like, and I guess he could have just walked away anyway, but I think he didn't want to see the results of him leaving the timeline alone, because he knew like.
But why? But okay then. But why? When he was like, "Oh, I know what's gonna happen. That's why you guys can't kill me, because I know what's gonna happen."
Right.
So if he knew what was gonna happen, he didn't have to get out of the way. So what, he needed to get his story out first.
Well, yeah. So that's that part of it. He was trying to convince them to take over, so that he could retire, and somebody else would just protect the timeline, and he could actually just enjoy life in the timeline that he protected all this time. Right? Like, so he's doing that.
So there needed to be the setup. He needed to set it all up before he actually like surrendered to it.
Right, because he wanted to get his thing out there so that they would either accept it or not. And he was waiting to see what the results would be. Are they going to accept it or are they not going to accept it? And him, I don't know if he planned on crossing the threshold. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, oh shit, there it is. Like, you see it in his face. You actually see him like kind of go, oh. And
well,
like,
wouldn't he know though?
He dropped
like,
something,
if
he dropped a pen and was just like, huh.
I knew. Yeah, I don't know what he dropped, but I know he dropped something. But it was just like, that's another thing. It's like, okay, I guess if you know these things are gonna happen, wouldn't you know when your knowledge of Jesus Christ? I'm going down a freaking like. This is like the fucking what is that DiCaprio movie where there are dreams and shit. Like, wouldn't you know when you stop knowing things? Like you know what I mean? Like, okay, I know everything that's gonna happen, so I know that at this point I'm not gonna know any more things. like I just feel like there might have been a clue when you can't know any more shit. Like, there's something's about to drop.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, I don't know, because I've never experienced that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that that situation's really like, right? Like
it's all about what you know and what you don't know.
maybe he only knows stuff like as it's happening, right? Like like seconds. Maybe he lives like seconds before, or seconds after he can see seconds after like the moment that he's in. You know what I mean? So like he knew that she was going to swing, so he could move, but as he got closer to where the shit that he didn't know, that's when he kind of slowed down and took a step back, and then he picked up that pen, dropped it, and was like, there it is. Now I don't know shit anymore.
I don't know, man. We may never know.
We may never know.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Tony and Cooley. We appreciate you listening every week while we ramble about stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you do that now. Hit that subscribe button so you can see all the content we release every single week.
Yeah. And for those of you that are on Facebook, come check us out at the Nerd Ruckus Network. That is a Facebook group. So if you're, wondering, what you got to do is you got to look for Facebook groups and then search for Nerd Ruckus Network. Seek us out, request membership, and we shall approve you if we deem necessary.
Yeah. Oh, and if you guys don't have time to watch our videos on YouTube because you're busy, obviously you can still listen to us on any of your podcast listening platforms. Just look up Tony and Cooley and you will find us there. And that's it. There you go.